Okay, it's Tuesday, February 8th at 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the City of Twinsburg Caucus meeting to order. Shannon, please call the roll.
Mr. Scafidi?
Here.
Mr. Fury?
Here.
Mrs. Labby? Here. Mr. Post?
Here.
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mrs. Walker? Here. Mr. Bellin?
Here.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay. No presentations tonight. Anybody have an item for discussion before we get started here? Any audience participation?
There is none.
Okey doke. Pending legislation, we have Resolution 10, 2022. This resolution is to the acknowledgement that council has reviewed the financial statements for the last quarter of 2021. Are there any questions? As you know, we do this every quarter, so.
That was just my question as I'm new. Is this a quarterly
every
thing?
quarter.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay, Ordinance 11, 2022. This ordinance is to amend Chapter 1173 of the Codified Ordinances regarding signs. The change is to incorporate the summary table to this section. Any comments? I know that we received a late email that there's going to be something else. Matt, you're going to throw something in there?
Yeah, thank you. So you might have seen that a amended draft was sent out. So the city staff identified that a couple things were left out in the 07-2021 signs code update that was passed previously by the council. This ordinance before you tonight, 1122, for first reading, adds in a summary table and then corrects a couple errors that made their way into the final draft that was voted on, clerical errors, if you will. The summary table was a part of the recommendation from the Planning Commission into the council, and it just, for whatever reason, wasn't attached to the final draft. So to correct the record, I advise that we go ahead and prepare Ordinance 1122 that's before you tonight for first reading to straighten out those clerical issues. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to address
Council,
them now.
any questions?
Yeah, so is it fair to say then that there aren't any significant material changes to what we voted on before?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say there aren't any substantive changes to anything. In fact, the table actually just itemizes all of the changes that are in the sign code and acts as a great tool for users to be able to just take a look at that one page and see what they need, that they can and can't do.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else? All right, we'll move on to Resolution 12, 2022. This resolution is to confirm the Planning Commission's recommendation that kennel is used similar to veterinarian hospital or clinic use, and therefore should be allowed as permitted use set forth in I-2 district. Anybody have any questions on that? I think that was pretty clear.
I have a question on that. Where is the I-2 district? Where industrial district? Where is that?
There are several.
So where is this going?
Well, it
You know,
doesn't.
It's nowhere.
There's nowhere. It's just.
That's just
allowed
where
in
it's
an
going to be?
I-2,
Oh,
wherever there's an I-2.
All right, because I was at the plaza in Twinsburg, and it says coming soon kennel, and I'm thinking, are they coming here?
Which plaza?
Maceras.
No, there is property on 91 that's looking to construct a pretty high-end dog daycare, I believe, that's being proposed. So
Okay.
yeah, but that's in the industrial and business district of 91.
So we have I-2 north or south of us. We're in the where the companies are, and we also
Just-
have out Cornerstone would be. We have industrial on the way out on 82.
Okay.
And we have maps that we have.
Is this just
board maps,
so
we have zoning maps. So
It's just to protect ourselves
Shane,
from
if
wants
you
to
get your
burn
zoning
kennel.
map, you can see what's there.
Thank you.
The kennel, they want to add that too.
Any other questions?
Yeah, is there a business in particular that's looking to
Yes.
move in? That's why we have
Yes,
to do this?
This is a lot that's, so it's just past Enterprise. There's a vacant lot that's they're looking to construct. It's a daycare, basically a daycare kennel there.
Right. Okay.
Mrs. Labby had a question? No. Anybody else? Okay. We have Ordinance 13, 2022. This ordinance is to adopt and approve the stormwater management program for Twinsburg. We have our city engineer here. She will be giving a presentation at the council meeting. You want to do it there or here, Amy?
Council meeting.
You're going to do it here? Okay. And then we are going to read this 3 times, but there is an emergency clause, I believe, in it, but we are still going to read it 3 times. Okay. Let's go through the next one. What's that?
14.
Yeah. Next, we have ordinance 14, 2022. This ordinance is to accept the bid of Parent Asphalt for the 2022 road improvement program. The amount of the bid was $1.45 million and change. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay, that's it. Council, does anybody have any miscellaneous?
Actually, I have a question. All the sidewalk stuff that was done that I saw, was that, all the sidewalk stuff in this proposal, was that for at the, where's all the sidewalks being replaced? I was trying to find where
There's
that
about
was.
$50,000 worth of sidewalk that is based on a list we get from Service Department associated with utility, like manhole covers, other things that basically they can't do with their slab jacking repair. So we get that list from them, and we include that annually. About at $50,000, we do a sidewalk repair.
Gotcha, so it's not like a full length of sidewalk?
No, and
That's what I was trying
no,
to
it's
find,
just
like,
miscellaneous repairs
Okay.
for utility failures, usually, sometimes other things where it's grade heave that they can't fix by slab jacking, which is the other program they run.
gotcha.
And Mr. Post, in the legislation there, it's actually line itemed out on like page 6 or 7.
Is it, so I was
Yeah.
looking at the line item, oh,
It's line item out that there's some sidewalk associated with that, but also we do sidewalk on the road that we're resurfacing. So there's some of those that are thrown there as well, if there's something that we found that was egregious that needed to be repaired.
yeah, that's what I was just looking at, that, but it doesn't, yeah, okay.
You good with that?
Yeah, fine, sorry.
Okay. Did you want to talk about that now, Amy, the stormwater?
I have a presentation at
So
council
you're
for
going to do it at council,
stormwater.
you're not doing it here?
I don't need to do it here.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then, if there's no miscellaneous from council,
I didn't see where it was located.
Say that now or not later?
whatever you want. If you want to bring that up now, go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
last council meeting, we had discussed Black History Month, and I suggested that perhaps we find someone in the city to honor. And Miss Daisy, being the little dynamo that she is, took the bull by the horns and talked with the mayor and came up with the program. So we're going to plan a little something as a start. And you know, if you'd like to say something, Daisy.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know, when you say we're going to plan a little something, what is that little something? Are we going to have a resolution? Are we going to have, you know, a choir, the school choir? You know, what does that something entail besides honoring this person?
We talked about a proclamation.
Yeah, proclamation.
As far as I'm aware, it's a proclamation, and if you, because he's passed, if you want to
Yes.
have one of the family members here or the family here to present, we can present the proclamation to them in his behalf.
Okay, and
That's-
that'll be
that's
our
the
next
program.
council meeting, and that's all we're
That's
going
the
to do that?
program, yes.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
And I'm happy to have that prepared, we just need to get the information. And I know we went to, if we're talking about Mr. Curry, we went to Mr.
Yeah.
Curry's services, so I know we may have some of that information, but we'll have to get that to prepare it. But, I mean, so
Okay.
I think it would be great to recognize it.
Okay, all right. Well, let me know what questions you want me to ask of her. You know,
Yeah.
if,
Yeah, we can meet and talk.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
that'd be great.
okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Well, then do what you want to do. You want to do it now?
Yeah,
All right, Ms. Livingston, go ahead.
so Keith, can you come up?
Good evening. How's everybody?
Good.
Like you.
Good.
These are easy
Hello.
questions. You know the answers. The Board of Zoning Appeals, we're doing some changes. And we were going to do that last meeting, but we got snowed out. And now we've got a longer list of items on the agenda. So we were talking about changing the procedure from signing throughout the meeting.
Are you talking about Board of Zoning Appeals
Yeah, I'm talking
or
ARB.
ARB? Yeah, okay, okay. All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Architectural
I'm
Review
sorry.
Board.
All right.
All these acronyms. ARB, we've
Okay.
talked about ARB and trying to make it more efficient, speed up the meetings. There were some questions on, there is a stamp, but we need a declaration or an understanding of who really needs to sign that. Right now, they're taking a break to sign it throughout the meeting with with every member, talked about just having the chairman, and is the secretary the representative of the building department that's attending?
Correct.
Okay,
Jason
fine. So
Pistorius.
Jason's going to be the secretary. So we just need 2 signatures then, the chairman's and the secretary's. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so we should, maybe we could work on an outline of a, you know, of best practices to remind people that you go to the site, prepare your questions, you know, please review the issues, proper motions that we have to include the case number in the motion as opposed to not have, so it's easier to track the minutes. And then do the signatures at the end of the meeting so that we speed it up and have a better flow.
Yeah, actually, if I could, I met earlier today, the law director and I talked about some of these things. We want to get them at least put together before the next meeting, which is next week.
Right, next Thursday, we have
Correct.
a week from Thursday.
Yeah, and I think it's a couple things. It's the process of the board, excuse me, their actual process, adhering to Robert's rules and protocols thereafter. I'm not sure how we can kind of fine tune those details. I think we're going to put some of this into like an organized format, and then I guess over time address those.
Well, I think if we put the proposed changes or on procedure as well as, you know, just those reminders together and just ask if there's any questions before the meeting starts, and then, you know, if we have some challenges, I'll point them out.
Yeah, you're attending the
I'm
meeting,
going
so
to
you
attend the
can be
meetings,
there to
so,
observe that too.
But we don't have that official document yet between you and the law director, and hopefully we get that out this week.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Okay, great. I'm done. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Okay, anybody else have any miscellaneous? I have one thing that at the meeting I will be making a motion for a new liquor permit for the Hong Hai Properties, which is 8941 Wilcox Drive, the old Damon's location. They're requesting a D5I permit. I know that's new to us, and there was an explanation sent out to us what that is. Does anybody have any questions about that now before we go on? No. Okay, then that's it. Then we will adjourn this meeting. Anybody wishing to speak at the council meeting, please sign in at the podium, and we'll start that at 7:30.